Hi everyone, this is Professor Couture. Welcome to Developing a Foundation for Success, Wellness, Internships, and Employment. This is a quick, or not so quick maybe, overview of the course. This PowerPoint presentation is posted on the Canvas course site in the module entitled Welcome to Developing a Foundation for Success course, excuse me. So let's get started. What I'll be covering in this video and as displayed on these PowerPoint notes is some discussion about the syllabus and the course schedule, a description of the 8 dimensions of wellness, and the 8 career readiness competencies that will frame our work for virtually all of this course. A note of course caution about content, material, ideas, concepts, and self-reflections that I want you to be aware of and take note of and use good care and caution. Communication guidelines for communicating with me and me communicating with you. Course materials that are necessary for this course. Discussion of our work together, what my approach is and what I'm hoping we're going to accomplish here. A reinforcement about office hours and the importance of helping me help you with student conferences either during regular office hours or at a time that works for you and your schedule and me and my schedule, setting that up by appointment through email and then meeting either in person or via Zoom. We will also look at the course learning outcomes in this course, the skills that you will be developing and or enhancing, in other words, building upon those that previously existed, and the foundation that you've already started, and building and strengthening those skills. The grading policy for this course, the class format, policies and expectations, and discussion about the fact, or just a warning that there are other class policies and expectations which are detailed in the syllabus, and I will cover that in a subsequent video entitled Syllabus Review. So there we go. To begin with, the 8 dimensions of wellness. We will explore in various degrees these 8 dimensions of wellness, or what are considered the components of a healthy life or a wellness lifestyle. They are physical, intellectual, or emotional and intellectual, social, spiritual, vocational or occupational, which includes education, training, and employment experience or getting ready for employment, finance or financial, and environmental. And we will spend, in some instances, several classes, and other instances, just one class on spiritual wellness and one on financial wellness, many classes on emotional wellness, occupational wellness, and a fair number of classes on environmental, intellectual, social wellness, and physical wellness. The career readiness competencies that feed into or intertwine and connect with the 8 dimensions of wellness are career development and self-development, self-awareness, communication skills, critical thinking skills, equity and inclusion, leadership skills, professionalism, teamwork, and technology. And these are the 8 categories of skill sets that the National Association of College Educators has determined to be based upon industry feedback, the most important skill set that employers are looking for. And so we'll be looking at those, since a significant part of your work in this course is to build those skills that overlap with wellness skills. For example, communication certainly intersects with social skills, as well as vocational skills and intellectual skills, and emotional well-being. Critical thinking skills most clearly, but not exclusively, apply to intellectual wellness. Equity and inclusion include social wellness as well as occupational wellness. Teamwork, again, social as well as occupational. Professionalism is occupational wellness. And leadership involves social, emotional, occupational, for the most part, dimensions of wellness. So those are sort of the cornerstones for our work in this course. There is a lot of overlap and a lot of reinforcement, and hopefully we'll get to cover them to the degree, the depth, and the extent that you will find helpful in meeting the goals of this course, which I will cover shortly. A note of caution: given the 8 dimensions of wellness and career competencies, they involve some to a greater degree, others to a lesser degree, with some potentially uncomfortable, sometimes very sensitive topics that will involve some activities, some self-assessments, some reflection, self-reflection, some pairing or face-offs, as I call them, with other students in class, and sharing with the class to the extent that you should or do feel comfortable doing so. And those issues include our emotional health, our mental health, academic and career or occupational strengths and areas of needed improvement, healthy and unhealthy relationships with people, co-workers, family members, substances, habits, practices, conflict resolution, self-management skills, which are significantly related to emotional and mental health, and substance abuse and use, as those cross into emotional and mental health, as well as physical health and a number of other categories. So if you know that there's a topic that's going to be sensitive to you, be on the watch for that. If you should become uncomfortable in class, I encourage you to leave that class and to send me a follow-up email. You won't be marked absent, but we need to make sure that you are feeling comfortable and safe in your work in this course, and to address any issues that might arise. Communication guidelines. What should you call me? At least to my face and in writing. You should please refer to me as Professor Couture. What would you like me to call you? Do you have a nickname, or do you have a name other than that which appears on the class roster? Please let me know. And I invite you to do that with the first day of class survey, which we'll be completing very shortly, and do the second class. You can let me know there if there are a preferred name that you have that I should be using. How am I going to stay in touch with you, and how should you get in touch with me? I will stay in touch with you through Canvas announcements and email. You should contact me through email using your Curry account and my Curry account. If you would please, in the course, in the subject line of your email, just give me the course name and section number. Some of you, the course name is the same for everyone in the class. Some of you have been assigned to section 1 and some to section 2, and that will just help me keep track of whom I'm speaking with. Please be professional. Correct your grammar, your spelling, and your punctuation. You're practicing career readiness skills. You'll be doing a lot of communicating in writing throughout the rest of your college career, certainly during the start, in all probability, during the start of your professional career, and continuing most likely significantly over the course of your professional career. Therefore, developing those best habits in even simple communications, such as emails, is very important. Please address me as Professor Couture and include your full name at the end of the email, just so that I'm sure. I don't think anyone in the class has, at least on the roster, the same first name, but to avoid any confusion, please, if you would, set your emails up that way. That would be great. There are 2 textbooks for this class. They're readers, really short readers, available in the bookstore and certainly available online in used versions for, I think, a reasonable amount of money. Both will be necessary. The first one by Smullins, it's written by a social worker, will be the basis for the first exam essay, which is called Burnout and Self-Care in Social Work and Related Professions. You'll need the book to prepare for it. You'll need the book to prepare your answers. All exams in this class are essay exams outside of class, untimed, and available to use your textbook and all course materials, although the assignments are to be individually completed. The second book is Gil Martin's Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement. 2 exams will draw upon the material in that textbook, so again, it's necessary that you have one, and we'll be discussing some of that in class as well. Strongly recommended is that you bring a computer or a tablet to every class. We'll be doing in-class work on a number of activities, including some worksheets, some self-assessments, some surveys, some polls, which are materials that you're going to build upon in your grading assignments. And you do need to be able to access your textbook and Canvas materials, which is not very easy to do using a telephone. So I do not recommend a cell phone be what you are relying upon for accessing materials in class or outside of class, other than just to check messages perhaps. Okay, our work together in this class, it's a mixture of reading, class discussions, class activities, out of class activities, which will include class preparation, polls, surveys, self-assessments, and a final semester project. Your final exam, if you will, is part of our work together. The course is designed to help empower you to grow in the dimensions of wellness, your knowledge of what those dimensions are, an understanding of how that impacts your day-to-day life, how it impacts your academic career, how it impacts your career choices and career success, or at least career planning, identifying your values, your skills, your interests, and how those important things about you that you might not have been in touch with will become critically important to making at least an initial decision about what you want your entry-level career to be. Not what you may think it is today, although possibly it is, but based upon the insight that you gain from these activities and the feedback that you get on careers that appear to be aligned with sets of your values, skills, and interests, may open up some new opportunities, some new ideas, or may confirm those that already exist. You'll be engaging in a lot of self-reflection, thinking about what you're learning and how that is shaping the goals that you set for yourself personally, academically, or career-wise. The journey will also include getting in touch with what are realistic and actionable goals, both for developing a wellness lifestyle and for pursuing the career that is ultimately your choice of entry-level career for the purposes of some of the work in this course. Utilizing internship resources, preparing an effective set of internship documents, which includes a cover letter, a resume, and a number of auxiliary pieces to help you be prepared to go out and get that internship. And then a preliminary or starting roadmap or a career exploration plan that you can build upon after this course is over and as you go forward. My goal and my style, my philosophy, and my approach is to encourage and empower you, and I do that through a blend of support, encouragement, challenge, and accountability. The support and the encouragement is there for you. You need to be open to asking for or receiving that support and encouragement. The challenge and the accountability is based upon two things. One, we don't really grow in any one of our dimensions without some challenge. Life is a challenge in and of itself. And accountability is you are earning college credit for this course, and you need to be accountable for meeting the course learning outcomes to demonstrate you've completed the course successfully, earned the grade, and fulfilled the wellness Gen Ed requirement. I need to remind us all that true learning doesn't happen easily or often, certainly, on the first try. Struggle and practice, whether it's learning to play football, basketball, lacrosse, softball, baseball, tennis, golf, you name it, any sport, or learning to be an accomplished performer, whether it's in dance or music composition or singing or art or sculpture or whatever your interest may be. It doesn't come without a lot of struggle and practice, a lot of mistakes. Learning is hard, messy work. We learn when we make mistakes. We all make mistakes. If we didn't, we wouldn't have anything to learn. So it is hard and messy work, but you can do it, and you'll be proud of yourself when you do. I need to remind myself often and to share that reminder with you that you own your education. Your success in this course is made possible by the commitment you decide to make of time, energy, and effort. Showing up is not enough. It's up to you to do the work necessary both inside and outside the classroom. There are lots of resources, and I am certainly one who is ready, willing, and to help you. But you have to be willing to help yourself. And yeah, so that's all I've got to say about that. I think that's enough. You can be successful in this course. I am here to help you. I have regular office hours Tuesdays and Thursdays on campus, and my office is in Hafer 223. I know that some of you at least have classes back to back. So you have a class at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if it's something short, you might catch me right after class before your next class starts, or we can adjourn to the hallway or some private space for a quick chat, or I'm certainly going to be available to you to set up a Zoom or a phone conference to connect if that's not possible to do or not comfortable to do in person. If you do want to meet with me, please send me an email and let me know what you want to discuss, and give me all the times that you are open on Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, so that I can begin to that I can offer you a time slot when I am in fact available to meet with you on Zoom or via phone call. I will get back to you always within 48 hours, generally sooner than that, 24 hours, and sometimes sooner than that. I generally don't check my email after 6 o'clock at night. So anything you send to me after 6 o'clock and before, let's say, 5 o'clock the next morning isn't going to be seen until 5 o'clock the next morning. There is a Zoom meeting connection link in our Canvas course that you can use if and when you decide you want to meet with me via Zoom. The outcomes that have been established for this course, the desired things for you to learn and be able to demonstrate are those 8 dimensions of wellness. Understand what they are, describe them, and be able to give examples. Develop an understanding of the interconnection between all of the 8 dimensions of wellness and how not only they interconnect, but they also can positively or negatively impact our academic, personal, and career goals, including internships and employment. Let's see, describe and utilize wellness practices and hopefully practice some of those strategies. Try them out and you might find some that work for you that might become one of the habits of wellness that you decide to practice during this course and beyond. We'll talk a little bit about managing your finances and how that relates to internships and employment opportunities. We will talk about conflict management and problem-solving skills, primarily in the intellectual and some in the social dimensions of wellness. Okay, so physical wellness we'll talk about, occupational wellness. That will include understanding issues around harassment or hostile workplaces that you might encounter, hopefully not as an intern, but possibly, and during your career entry. We'll explore the behaviors, the attitudes, and the environment of human service and criminal justice careers that are different than the environments and the cultures of other types of careers. We'll explore that. You will be doing career and self-development, checking in to evaluate your communication skills, where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, how could you improve. The same with critical thinking, equity and inclusion, diversity, equity and inclusion, professionalism. You'll be completing a lot of self-assessments of your skills, your interests, and your values. You will be able to describe those interests, values, and skills and understand how they relate to the best fit for you in terms of careers and occupational environments. Okay, we will be doing a lot of specific activities related to career exploration and development, looking at career options, researching internship opportunities, looking at employment and industry trends in the careers or the positions that you're interested in, helping to identify some campus and community resources to develop experiential learning opportunities that will help build your credibility and your strength for candidacy in an internship and in an entry-level career. What else? Let's see. And again, a lot of focus on just articles and best practices of identifying what your skills are, knowing where your strengths are, where you can improve, how to improve, how to find and apply for an internship or a job based upon what that internship is described as, or the job or the position description is described as. So you'll find that we are exploring a lot of those things, that there's a lot of overlap and interconnection, and hopefully we're building foundation blocks and strength along the way. You'll also be developing or improving, enhancing reading, writing, communication, diversity and inclusion, research, information literacy, technology, critical thinking, problem solving, and career readiness competencies throughout this course. Your grading policy in this course is based on 5 categories. 1, course connection activities, which is worth 10% of your grade. These are short, like maybe 10-minute assignments. The managing my time one, ironically, may be closer to an hour, but the rest are relatively short. They are easy A's if you do them. They are easy zeros if you don't. Please don't miss an opportunity to get an easy A, or take an opportunity to get an easy 0. Not a good plan. Attendance, class preparation, and participation is worth 10% of your grade. The syllabus describes more about what that means, and I'll cover that in the syllabus video. Career exploration, career readiness, competencies, and internship preparation. There are a number of assignments and activities connected to that category, and combined they're worth 35%. You do have 4 exams in this class. They're all essay exams. They're all taken outside of class. They are not timed. You may use any of your resources in this course, the textbooks, lecture notes, other reading materials that I've provided. I encourage you not to venture beyond those, but in any event, as will be described when I go through the syllabus, you will be required to document your sources that you use for, certainly for all of the exam questions and a number of the other assignments that you'll be working on. And then the final project, which will pull together pieces of the work throughout the semester, that'll be 15% of your grade. I've already mentioned, but I'll mention it again, have a tablet or a laptop in class if at all possible. If that's a problem, please let me know so I can see if we can find a workaround or a solution. I do lecture, but I also am looking for you to come prepared to actively participate in class. And you're going to be earning college credits for doing so. And a reminder, this course is not a spectator sport. You're not watching me or the other students do the work. You really need to be part of the journey in order to earn the credit and get from it what you need to. It is my practice to call on people in class, even if they haven't raised their hand. You always have the option to pass when called on, and that's perfectly okay. Please let me know during scheduled office hours or by appointment if being called on is it creates issues or concerns of discomfort for you. I want to be mindful of that, and at the same time, I want to encourage you to participate, to come prepared, and you're much more likely to be prepared if you know that there's a very good chance you're going to get called on in class. And that is external motivation for doing what I'm asking you to do. There are a lot of other course policies and expectations that are detailed in the syllabus. I'll be presenting a separate video on that, and I welcome you to reach out with any questions or concerns. Send me an email, and I'm looking forward to a great semester. Thanks so much. Take care.